need this. Look at me. I'm so used to having this mic. I done pulled it up. I don't even need it. What's up? Let me know that y'all can hear me by typing test of will, or I don't even know a better word to use. This is our midday live. Yes, we're back to doing these, but this is truly a test of my will because um, I'm so used to producing, presenting.
I'm so used to
Oh Lord,
producing,
hold on.
presenting. I'm so used to producing,
Oh Lord, hold on.
presenting. I'm so used to producing.
And that's like echoing a million times. One of my screens was had the volume on. But yes, I'm so used to producing and presenting. It comes from my professional corporate background, and then I kind of use those skill sets and use it with YouTube, etc. And but what happens is I feel like I gotta produce a show. I feel like I gotta have images and videos planned and everything that we talk about. I gotta present it. And the problem with that is it becomes overwhelming when trying to get out like different types of content and get it out quick and all of that. And so what happens is I end up pushing things like this to the side because I'm like, I don't have time to produce a midday show and then an evening show and the other stuff that has to be done. So, what I have decided to force myself to do moving forward with these midday shows is that it's just conversation. We'll have topics or whatever, but there will be no graphics, no commercials, no this, no that. And then these will likely become members only lives. I'm working on that now. So, by next week, if not tomorrow, I will officially launch our membership, which will include exclusive live streams. It'll include having, first look, early looks at releases of certain video content I'm working on. I got some exclusive interviews that I still haven't finished, all those sort of things. So and I feel like y'all don't have as much of an issue with this as I do. Um, oh yeah, and this live, because I scheduled it from my phone, I didn't notice that the date was for tomorrow. So yeah, that was just a oversight. So I fixed it. We're here now. Uh, Deborah is saying, "Gee whiz, I've read so many negative comments on OJ, like his football stats never existed. Palm people are having a field day." I'm seeing the comments all over the place with him. Hey, I see Mocha and his MJ, Donna, Marjan, Kiki. Hey, Sess Talk Sports. Y'all make sure to subscribe to Sess Talk Sports. She is one of our VPO and my mentee. Yes, I do consulting for YouTube growth. So if you're interested in that, you can hit me up. Um, and then was Carmel Angel is saying, I hope the Goodmans who didn't like their son in the first place caused his, because of his, does not touch any of his children's money. I don't think they should be able to touch his children's money. If they haven't been able to do it as of yet, they shouldn't be able to, right? But anyway, so yes, we will talk about OJ. So I'm gonna read. And I'm serious. Some of y'all have already heard. I honestly, I just found out this morning around 10 a.m. that OJ Simpson had passed away at the age of 76 after battling cancer. That is a story that is near and dear to me because I also lost my father at the age of 73 due to cancer back in 2020. So I can only imagine what his family had to go through, and most likely probably the hospice piece. Mine was kind of a blessing in disguise in the sense of my father, he did not have his hospice stay was less than 24 hours, y'all. Was it less than 24 hours? Yeah, it was about 24, max of 24 hours. Not even, about 24 hours. But that's a whole story. We talk about that stuff on Patreon and stuff. So feel free to join us over there. So anyway, OJ Simpson, this is according to TMZ, says OJ Simpson, one of the most infamous high-profile Americans of all time, is dead after battling cancer. The former NFL great who stood trial for the double murder of his ex-wife Nicole Brown Simpson, and her friend Ron Goldman in the 90s. Let me enlarge this because I'm struggling. I'm trying not to put my glasses on. Here we go. Now that's better. Only to be acquitted, passed away on Wednesday in Las Vegas. This is according to his family. So on his Twitter, his someone put, it says, on April 10th, our father, Orenthal James Simpson, succumbed to his battle with cancer. He was surrounded by his children and grandchildren. I didn't know he had grandchildren. During this time of transition, his family asked that you please respect their wishes for privacy and grace, the Simpson family. So they said he was surrounded with his children and grandchildren when he died, and the attorney confirmed that he is, in fact, has passed away. Says OJ had been reportedly battling prostate cancer in recent years, and his health took a turn for the worse as of late, with him landing in hospice care for the past few months. So, see, he spent a few months in hospice. Then they just have a thing on him. Says word about OJ's a video, like I forget, y'all can't see this, but they have a video of him on Twitter, I guess right before a game, and he's just doing a video. Says word on OJ's cancer diagnosis first made its rounds in February when a local outlet reported it, although the details were hazy, as was OJ's response to the news at the time when he denied he was in hospice but didn't address the cancer report. Wow, they got him on the cane and everything. See, that's why I like to show y'all stuff. Go to TMZ though. Says adding to the mystery of was the fact that OJ actually touched on a cancer diagnosis in 2023 in a video he posted on X when he said he'd caught some form of cancer, but suggested that he'd already beaten it. In any case, the cancer came back and claimed his life about a year later. Says OJ has been looking frail and leading up to his passing, including during an outing in January where he was spotted using a cane. And the last time that OJ passed was a video of himself talking about the Super Bowl, where he said that he was rooting for his former team, the San Diego 49ers. He seemed to be in good spirits. He was seated in the clip and talking from the backyard of his home. And it says it goes without saying that OJ's life was momentous for a variety of reasons. Lots of good and bad, especially in his later post-football years. Before that, though, he was beloved. He was a beloved All-American hero on the field, a Heisman winner from USC, and a Buffalo Bills legend. Even after football, he was a bona fide A-lister in Hollywood, acting in tons of movies and TV shows, and famously serving as the face and pitchman for Hertz for many years. Yeah, the commercial where he's running down the hallway, I think in the airport. I remember that. They got the little clip of that here. Maybe I'll probably do a pre-recorded video for something for this. But anyway, of course, all of that good would be left in the 1990s. All of that good will be left in the 1990s when he was accused of the heinous murders of and death of, what's this? His death marks the end of a multi-decade saga of crime and intrigue surrounding the O.J. Simpson, which peaked after the brutal slaying of Nicole and Ron in 1994, and in the aftermath of what was dubbed the trial of the century. I still remember that. I was a senior in high school. Man, that was like, wasn't that the whole summer? It was like, it went on forever. It felt like forever. When OJ was prosecuted on national TV, says even before he was apprehended by police for questioning in the immediate aftermath of the murders, OJ led cops on a low-speed chase in his Ford Bronco on the LA freeways. Everybody remember that too. We all watched it. This is in the days before the blogs and stuff. We all were just sitting there watching it play out on the news. Says a moment that was nationally televised and one of the most dramatic shared experiences in modern history. I would agree with that. So they got pictures like They showing people were on the highways, lined up on the highways, watching his Ford Bronco go by slowly. Craziness. Oh my God, I remember that. Says once he was caught, the case started to form with him as the prime suspect. Prosecutors even charged him alleging OJ carried out the horrific stabbing unalivings of Nicole and Ron at her Brentwood home on June 12th of 1994. OJ hired a so-called dream team of defense lawyers that was led by the late Johnny Cochran, who ran point and helped pick apart the state's case. He did a great job too. If it don't fit, if the glove don't fit, you must have quit. Says a fundamental element of Cochran latched onto during the trial was the fact that the LAPD detective Mark Furman had made racist remarks in the past. I remember that too, which OJ's defense team suggested could have led him to planting a bloody glove found at Simpson's home. This also led to another pivotal point in the trial when OJ's team requested that he be allowed to try on the gloves in court for the jury, and they ended up not fitting him perfectly. Remember that? Oh, we remember that. That prompted Cochran to eventually utter the famous lines during the closing arguments, namely, if it doesn't fit, you must acquit. In the end, the jury bought that defense, and OJ was acquitted of murder charges to the shock of much of the nation. However, not too long after that, he was sued by the Goldmans and the Browns in the civil court for wrongful death. And that case played out in Santa Monica, where the jury found him liable for the deaths of Nicole and Ron, and he was ordered to pay tens of millions in damages. And it says, despite being dogged by the families for the money, OJ mostly avoided paying the judgment and eventually fled Los Angeles to settle down in Las Vegas, where other legal troubles started to find him, including tax woes and eventually another criminal case. Oh, I remember that other case too. In 2007, he was accused of busting into a Las Vegas hotel room in an attempt to recover sports memorabilia that he believed had been stolen from him, rolling up to confront a new owner with a bunch of goons in tow, armed with weapons too, according to prosecutors. I did not know this article was that long. That's why I got to read first. I did not think this was this long, but I'm gonna give y'all the whole thing. Says he was eventually arrested, charged, and prosecuted, and ultimately convicted on all charges. OJ was then in prison for a long time until he was released on parole in 2017. Craziness. Once OJ got out of prison, he ended up settling down in Sin City, where he lived a relatively private and peaceful life out of the public eye. Although he was active on social media, often posting on X with opinions on sports, politics, and other topics. It says, of course, his reputation was completely destroyed by then, partially because many believe he actually confessed to the 1994 killings in the book and subsequent interview that he did in the 2000s, touting it as a hypothetical plus everything else that had transpired over the years. Remember that book he had, If I Had a Did It or something, or If I Did It, like how it would have went. That's a little suspect to me. I know some of y'all like, ooh, why they bothering him? Why they bothering OJ? OJ ain't did nothing to nobody. I don't know. I think that's poking the bear. Even if he didn't, I didn't like that at all. And yet, he was still approached by lots of fans post-prison regarding y'all fans, the ones who like ignoring those things. Post-prison, regardless, posing for pictures often. He also still had the support of some of his family, including his children. OJ was 76 when he passed away. Okay, Jesus. Whew. I didn't expect all that. See what comments I missed. Oh, Jesus. These comments are so tiny on here. That's the other. I forgot about this part. Oh, Lady Goodman said, wow, this is the first time that you're hearing of this. Seth's Talk is saying, Vell, it's because of you, because of your mentorship. Thank you so much. You have been an inspiration. Oh, thank you, friend. Thank you, Seth. Yes, I got to promote myself. Yes, I do consultations for YouTube growth. I am a self proclaimed YouTube coach. So if you are interested in that, definitely hit me up. In my DMs. You can join the Patreon at the creator tier that gets you the consultations and much, much more. Um, Margin is reminding you if you have a man in your life to remind him to get prostate checks. Yes, that's very important. Right, Tiffany J is saying I forgot that he was an actor too. Yeah, I forgot about that too. He did accomplish a lot. It's just sad how it all went down. Um, it's so unseemly to stalk people to see if, in fact, they have cancer. We have we learned anything from Chadwick? No, we have not, as humans, learned anything from Chadwick Boseman or who was that? Tracy Braxton. I'm guilty of that too. I did a video on Tracy Braxton leading up to it. But yes, you are correct, and also no, people haven't learned lessons either. Um, Margin is saying she watched the whole trial. I was in and out of the trial, like, because I was at the around that time I was 18 or 19. So, I wasn't focused on it. I knew of it. I knew the big pieces that would go viral. Well, back in the day, go viral. Wasn't like we had social media like that. Um, but yeah, I did not watch the trial in full. I have watched some I feel like I was in the middle of watching a documentary on Netflix months ago, sometime last year, and I totally dropped out of it. I forgot about it. It wasn't that it wasn't interesting. I was watching episodes and then forgot that I was watching it. I gotta check that out. I'm sure there'll be more coming. They'll be re-airing them and everything else now that he's passed away. I'm sure. Right. Saint Center says every day on all the channels. Right. Sock Snob. Hey, Sock Snob. The trial was like 9. Was it that long? I know it was a very long time, but I was thinking in my head like somewhere around 3 to 4 months. But was it really 9 months? Wow. Wow. I didn't know he had grandchildren. Kiki Fob. Yeah, I didn't know that either. I mean, it makes sense because his children are pretty grown by now. Uh, Tally Weiner is saying, I was in Oakland at Chicago Health Club on an exercise bike. All the TVs were glued to the trial. I was the only black person in the club. They were hot. Yeah, yeah, yeah. That became definitely a racial divide for sure. And he was so beloved by Caucasian people prior to that. I believe his oldest son. What? Okay, I can't be talking about that. You can go get me. And that's your theory. What proof you got? Like what? Huh? When Martin said, "Vell, I need you for my YouTube." Yes, hit me up. We can talk about how that process works. Uh, oh, Shanice says, never seen the trial. Yeah, I've only seen bits and pieces, chunks of it here or there. Oh, and then they had that not a documentary. It was like a mini series on it. I watched the mini series on it. I remember that as well. Um, and then Corinne is saying, I'm still mourning Whitney Houston. That's really a really random comment, friend, but okay. Like I'm mourning her too, and Prince, and Michael Jackson, and Luther Vandross, and I mean we can go down the list. And shoot, I'm mourning my father, but I don't know. And I think that's more related to this because he also died from cancer. But have at it, friend. I understand. Yes, I think many of us. If you're mourning Whitney Houston, put a 1 in the chat so we can all bond with Corinne. Um, right. Chanel is saying that it's the People versus OJ on FX. That was really good. See, y'all know I'm so bad with names. Corinne, We got some ones in there. Everybody put a one in the chat. Let them know. Let Corinne know that we also are definitely mourning for Whitney Houston. How long has she been gone now? Has been it's been a decade, right? I can't remember when exactly it happened. I just remember, like, I can't remember the year, like, just the date. But I remember I had just come from um, a trip, but I can't remember which one now. But I had just come from, like, out of the country. And my friends and I, we decided when we left the airport, for some reason, we had a taste for gyros, and we decided to go to Greektown in Chicago, downtown Chicago, well, near downtown Chicago. And so we went there, we went to the restaurant, we were sitting there with our food, and it came up on the TV. And it was like, oh my God, what, Whitney? And then just so we was watching the footage, them talking about she had just been found dead in her hotel room. Oh my God, yes, I remember that. I remember that. Then the other story we have is about John Amos, who some of you know that. Okay, y'all saying it was Sheila is saying it was 2013 or 2012. Okay, Javon is saying it was 2012. So yeah, wow, it's been 12 years already, Misty Blue. Misty Blue, 12 years. Wow. I still remember when Michael Jackson passed away too. The crazy part, I don't need to do a whole story time. I was leaving Darius Crook's house on the west side of Chicago in the morning, going somewhere, and that's when I found out that Michael Jackson died. I found out at his house, found out at Darius Crook's house that Michael Jackson died. What year did Michael Jackson die? Because that helped me with certain timelines too, with other pieces. But anyway, John Amos, who some of you know that we have done some in-depth coverage of John Amos, and this whole storyline with him and his family, and what's been the rumors, the family fallout, the family feud, the drama, all that stuff. Hey, Alice, 2009. Look at y'all. See, this how y'all know I ain't lying. I ain't lying. Y'all know we were still friends back then. That was before the food truck, not far before, months before. Look at that. But anyway, we know that I have covered John Amos. I've done a couple videos. Most recently, we had done the reading of the Hollywood Reporter story on their family and the feud between Casey Amos and his sister Shannon, and just all of the back and forth and all of that. And they did a great article that was really in depth about all the twists and turns. So if you haven't read that article and you're a reader, read that article. The Hollywood Reporter, I can't remember what it's called, but I can't remember the title of the article. But the Hollywood Reporter talks about their family dynamics. It's good. But I also did 2 videos on it where we went through it and, point by point, blah, blah, blah. It was a good show. What we also have is a connection now to the John Amos story, because KC Amos, because I have done so much coverage on John Amos, has been in our DMs over here a few times and has been threatening us. What I will say is this article could possibly be vindicating him. I have not read it. I only know that the investigation about John Amos's alleged elder abuse from his son Casey Amos is now officially closed by the police, the LAPD. So we're going to get into this article. This is a blind read. Hold on, let me get some water. So this is a blind read, so I don't know. All I know is the case has been closed. I don't know all the details, though. So starting here, this is from People Magazine. It says the LAPD previously launched an investigation after Amos' daughter, Shannon, claimed that her brother, Kelly C., who goes by Casey. I didn't know the Kelly. I thought kind of thought his first name was Casey. Okay, but Kelly, had I known that, I would have been, y'all know I'm a troll. I only troll people who troll me. I troll back. But Kelly C, aka Casey, wasn't providing the appropriate care for his 84-year-old father amid health issues. Now, remember, those of y'all who have been around for us covering this story, I also got a private message in the DE. No, this was an email somebody sent. And in that email that's now destroyed, just in case somebody tries to subpoena it, in that email, a person said that they had interaction with KC and John Amos at an event, and that John Amos was completely out of it and clearly should have not been there. Should have been, and she said that he was in a wheelchair and that he was like dozing off and all of that. And Casey was like, "Oh, he's fine." And Casey running around the room, smoozing people. And it was something to do with his documentary, if I'm not mistaken. It was a film kind of thingamajig. So anyway, so there's plenty of conversation about that, or people talking about, even the Hollywood Reporter, when they did the article on him, they talked about how KC was nudging his father to wake him up. John Amos was dozing off and stuff, and that's fine. Like, he's an 80, what is that, 94? Did I say 94? 84? 84-year-old man who is not in the best health, and that makes sense. And then there's allegations that he has dementia, and the person, stuff I've gotten word on the street is that that's true. Anyway, let's get into this article. So, according to People magazine, an investigation into the allegations of neglect and care of John Amos has closed due to the lack of evidence, according to reports. Now, what I say about this, if I ever get somebody else in my DMs, we know who we're talking about, if they end up back in my DMs, lack of evidence does not prove innocence. It just proves that they didn't have enough to do anything. It don't mean that it didn't happen. It just means they can't prove it, and they got to be able to prove it in order to move forward. Unfortunately, the hands are tied, and elder abuse is huge. And you hear a lot of people talking about, I've heard many stories from doing this story about how people have talked about how it's so hard to combat when you do have people who end up in a situation with elder abuse. I hope my phone doesn't ring because I just realized I'm not on airplane mode. But anyway, the LAPD confirmed to people that the case is closed, and confirmation comes after TMZ reported that the police have since found no evidence indicating any wrongdoing. However, and shut the case down. According to the outlet, detectives ended the investigation after contacting both parties involved and concluding that it was a matter of a family dispute. That's what they say. Shannon, his sister Shannon, or John Amos' daughter, released a statement on Monday, April the 8th, expressing disappointment in the LAPD's decision. She was quoted as saying, "While I acknowledge that the efforts of the LAPD on my father's case, I am disappointed with their conclusion since no one from my family has seen or spoken to my father since July of 2023. When Casey Amos, Eugene Brement, and Belinda Foster removed him from the medical facility against doctors' orders," she said in a statement to People, "we continue to receive outreach from care providers and medical professionals and others with evidence that raises concerns over his well-being and whether he is receiving the care that his health requires." So how do you remove your father from health care, from his healthcare providers, and not provide new healthcare providers? And if you were providing new healthcare providers, I'm talking in general terms, the old healthcare providers would know because you would be getting transfers of records and things like that. So they wouldn't then be reaching out saying, "Hey, where's Mr. Amos? We ain't seen him in a while. We were currently treating him for this da 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 da, and he's supposed to come back for this da 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 da, and this is serious." That wouldn't be occurring, in my opinion. She's also further quoted as, "I like to add that everywhere we go together, people refer to my." Oh no, this is did I jump? Okay, I jumped. My eyes jumped. Says in March. Thank you so much. The Dominique Zimmer. My my brain was not processing your name. Dominique Zimmer. I've never been here before, but to say you look good. Oh well, thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you for making my day. In March, Amos responded to the report investigation. I'm sorry, y'all. Who is this? Dominique threw me off. Says in March, Amos responded to the reported investigation in a statement to People. He was John Amos was quoted as saying, "I want to first say that I am feeling well and working diligently on various projects that I am involved in at this time, including the docuseries that my son and I are producing along with a music release," he said at the time. So at that time, John Amos was saying, "My life is good. I'm working on projects. My son and I are working on this documentary and also a music release." Oh my God, I just want to say so much. Patreon, we'll be talking about this later. In our next live, we're going to be talking about this. I'd like to add that everywhere we go together, people refer. Oh, I'd like to add that everywhere we go together, people refer to my son, KC, as my twin. I'm proud of him for who he is as a person, a caring, thoughtful human being who respects me, and I him. He then goes on to say, "Now I will say this for now. This story about neglect is false and unmerited. The real truth will come out soon, and you will hear it from me. Believe it." I don't know, Mr. Amos, Mr. John Amos, I don't know. Says Amos' daughter Shannon first alleged her father was a victim of elder abuse in June of 2023, which he denied. At the time, she filed a complaint with the Colorado Bureau of Investigations and created a GoFundMe page to raise care expenses for the actor, which was later removed at his request. Now, we know that that was extremely controversial, the fact that she had created the GoFundMe. She's saying that he needed, what was it, 500,000, y'all, for legal team and his care and all of that because people have been taking advantage of him financially. Well, the question is now he's been, what are we, almost a year later, and it seems like they're still moving about. KC was talking about buying them a house in Jamaica or something. They trying to, John Amos is buying a house in Jamaica. And they seem to be getting along, like they seem to be still traveling. This da da da. This is a question for any of you who have watched them. Have you seen any of the, like those of you who may follow them on TikTok? Are they still making those TikTok videos that they were making months ago? Those ones that I found to be cringy. Are they still making those? Have we seen John Amos? Amos then claimed that he was actually a victim of elder abuse by his daughter, whom he claimed had taken advantage of him. Now, keep in mind, his daughter is out of the country. I forgot where she lives exactly. Does she live in Bali, or is that just in my head from Darius Crooks? But she lives somewhere out of the country. Following the reports of the investigation in March, a rep for Shannon said in a statement to People that she was concerned for her father's health and it was being downplayed despite multiple hospitalizations. Now that's the other piece, because we can say that he said, she said, we can say Casey said this or Kelly said this and Shannon said that, but the Hollywood reporter did the story, and the stuff he was saying was aligning. And he even said that Shannon provided, although this is against HIPAA, but she provided medical docs proving that John Amos had the onset of dementia from, if I'm not mistaken, this is just off the top of my head, so forgive me if the dates are off, but I feel like the documents were from like 2016 that were saying back then he had the onset of dementia. They go on to say in this article, she's quoted as saying, "People think this is about money and rivalry. It is not. We went through this before with my mother, who also suffered tremendous neglect. We are trying to prevent the same thing from happening to my father. I love my brother and I hope he will get the help he needs, but we need to prioritize the safety of my father, who is vulnerable, first and foremost. Anything else can be addressed within our family." So again, those of y'all who saw our video when we did this months ago, a couple times, know that I actually also showed the photos that were released, somebody released, of the condition that their mother was left in. Shannon, back then, kind of a repeat of this story, had been fighting for her, they were fighting over the care of their mom. Their mom had I think she had a hysterectomy that went bad, left her paralyzed or something, if I'm remembering correct. It was some kind of operation, went bad, a surgery. She ended up, having a malpractice suit. She got a lot of money from it. She had a husband at the time, and he took care of her until he passed away. When he passed away, then KC, Kelly, aka Kelly, and Shannon were fighting over the care of their mom. Shannon wanted to bring the mom to Atlanta where she was living and working. KC wanted the mom to stay in basically California. KC won out in the end, and the mom, and then he was doing, she said, all kind of crazy renovations to the mom's house. He built a swimming pool with a, slide and all these things, and the mom was paralyzed, so the mom wasn't getting on that stuff. And the mom was ended up in such bad condition. She had bed sores. Her muscles had atrophies. I always forget how to pronounce that. But basically, her muscles had tightened up and her arms were permanently stuck like this. And they had pictures of like her limbs and everything. Mom was in really bad shape. And so Shannon is alleging that was because Casey wasn't taking care of the mom. And the mom was telling, according to Shannon, the mom was telling her, like, she would be calling for Casey and no one would answer for hours. He would just leave in the middle of the night, leave her there, bedridden by herself, all those sort of things. And then on top of that, the mom had a lot of money. And Shannon is alleging that KC, aka Kelly, went through all of the money. And John Amos, in a recorded audio that Shannon recorded of KC when she, without his permission, said that in it, John Amos was saying that he had talked to his son and asked him if he had stole money from his mom and blah, 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 and this and that, and said that I think he said he had denied it at the time or whatever. But they did also have a conversation about him having a substance abuse problem. We also have photos that point to that. So that's kind of, again, I got a video on it that we've done, a couple times, months ago and everything. Check it out. So it says, despite his public family issues in recent months, Amos has shared his hopes for his family to have a harmonious relationship at some point. Says, speaking in December, the actor told People, right now, it is somewhat acrimonious, but never mind what you might read or hear about it in the papers or on this medium or that medium platform. You tell he's old. Old and well-spoken, but old. Suffice it to say, we are still family and we love each other, and that's the bottom line. So that's what's happening with John Amos. And again, let me see if I can see if I gotta remember to put this on subscriber only in the future because I forgot we have it's a lot of stuff happening. Um, I was trying to see if any of y'all has said that y'all saw. Dina is saying his kids are probably both shady. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Mr. and Mrs. People said he had them all over TikTok at one time. That's what I was saying. I knew he was all over TikTok, and that was very cringy to me. So I was wondering if he if that was still occurring, because part of the complaint is from Shannon and other family members is that John Amos hasn't been seen. They haven't seen him since June. So I'm wondering, has the public seen him even? What is John? What proof do we have that John Amos is in good condition and that he's being taken care of? I mean, obviously the NYPD, you would think and hope that they did their due diligence, but why isn't John Amos still doing the videos? I'm trying to make sure. I'm trying to see if any of. Oh, Mother of Dragon says I haven't seen any new videos on that account. So no new videos, not even from KC Kelly, not even from Kelly. Monica Davis saying I haven't seen any Instagram reels of John lately. Interesting, y'all. Dina is saying John seemed like he has dementia just based on my experience of being around people with dementia. Yeah, kind of in and out, and then people were getting kind of fooled by that because he can be very with it, articulate, et cetera, and coherent one minute, but then saying his daughter is really the problem the next when she ain't even been in the country. So yeah, don't know exactly. Don't know. I wish I could make these comments bigger. Jesus, this is a lot. Right. Beauty Dior is saying he could have already passed away since June 2023. Right. Does he have some SAG retirement checks coming in that somebody still? Let me stop. Let me stop. I got to go to Patreon. It's too risky. It's too risky. Patreon, y'all know I got a lot to say, but I can't be saying that over here. Just know in the future, probably maybe tomorrow by the start of next week, we will start having memberships on this channel, and these sort of live streams will become members only. I mean, they'll be live in the moment, and then for the replay, it'll be members only. So yeah, your support would be greatly appreciated. Interesting. Leola is saying his son could be giving him pills to mimic dementia too. My family was doing that with my grandparents. Wow, I did not know that was possible. That's interesting. Very interesting. Oh, and then how long? I only like to do these for an hour because y'all know I got other stuff. We still got a show to do tonight. The other thing is Diddy. So I just ran into earlier on social media. It looks like Diddy, and I'm gonna post it over on Patreon for y'all, so y'all see what I'm talking about. But it seems like Diddy is coming after, allegedly, coming after creators who are doing videos on him. So there's it's a couple creators who have claimed that they are being kind of harassed by people close to Diddy, and specifically they're saying like his private investigator who has been harassing other people. Now, I haven't been following the Diddy story closely. I'll do some recaps here or there, but I ain't finna do no everyday Diddy stuff. But there's a video of someone recorded the audio of his private investigator, a guy who's been linked to Diddy as his private investigator, who's been going around, doing stuff. And he reached out to a TikToker who I guess was getting a lot of traction. And she was just reading the court documents like we have about, now I gotta, honestly, I ignore, you gotta email me. Like if you, a number I don't know, I ain't never answer unless you leave a message, let me know who you are. So I don't know if I've been reached out, but anyway, all she was doing was reading the court documents. And he called and he was harassing and saying, you need to watch how you're spinning this story, and You need to do more research, and you may be doing this for entertainment, but we still have to go to court, and you're putting out a false narrative and all these sort of things. And it's like, wow, like they're that bothered by bloggers, basically TikTok bloggers. But it's a whole video, recorded video. It's out there. So if you're not a part of our Patreon and stuff, you could definitely find it. But if you're a part of Patreon, I'm gonna just post it, and y'all will be able to see it real easily. Um, that's all I got though. I do want to talk to. I got a couple big projects coming. That's another reason why I was trying to free up my time from daily evening content with Darius Crooks. But I want to talk about that mayor in Illinois, Dalton, Illinois, Tiffany Henyard. That is such an interesting story, and it's just been ongoing. But I got to catch up too. But I definitely want us to talk about that. And yeah, that's about. Oh, and I got that. I think this evening I'm gonna premiere that interview if I have enough time. Let me see. It's gonna. I might have enough time to go ahead and edit that video. I think I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it today. So we got an exclusive. I'm just put it out there in the universe. We have an exclusive interview coming this evening related to a survivor of Darius Crooks. That's all I'm giving y'all. Okay, I was trying to see if I had missed anything. Right, Alice is saying that's what I don't get. The daughter hasn't been in the country yet. People are blaming her. Yeah, I'm kind of lost by that as well. Now, Kelly, aka KC, had made reference to his sister borrowing money or having some kind of challenges, financial challenges, and I think they were health related or whatever. And so her father helped her out, and he tried to use that against her. Martin is saying that is harassment. Is that legal? I mean, it's legal to call somebody. He definitely was watching his words. He didn't say anything. He didn't curse her out or anything like that. It was kind of one of those, you saying it without saying it. You warning somebody without threatening them per se. Missy Blue says, yes, please talk about Tiffany. I'm so interested. That story's getting talked about because I'm interested myself, interested in it myself. I just haven't been able to have the bandwidth to do the deep dive the way that y'all know I like to do the deep dives, because y'all know I like chronological order. I want to give all the receipts. I need the images. I need videos, all of that. So I haven't had the bandwidth to do that over this time. And I know there was something else must have been something happening this week, because I saw somebody in our chat, our live stream chat, the other day saying that they had just got off of watching coverage of her, but I don't know what may have happened. I hadn't had time to get into it. Marlena B is also saying, I'm deeply vested in the Tahoe Tiffany saga. So what's the Tahoe part of it? All I know about is did she buy? I know she bought like these fancy vehicles for the city. They owe leases on it. She wasn't paying the leases. It's crazy. It's like, but the fact that she can blatantly do all of these things in the public as a public figure is horrible. Horrible. Says, oh, this week was epic. Marlene, you got to hit me up and give me like the cliff notes of it so I can understand what I should be looking for, because I'm not in the loop, but I want to be. B Hunt, thank you, Vell, for waiting. Thank you, Vell. I've been waiting on you to get on that mayor. Maybe I'm gonna have to prioritize that for this coming week. I've said that before, and then the weekend came, and then life happened. But maybe I can prioritize that for this weekend to like really do a deep dive myself and have it as content for next week. So maybe I'm gonna try my best to make that happen. She wrote a check for $500K to lease those Tahoes. from the city. Oh my God, Jesus. Craziness. Mayor Lightfoot is in charge of investigating Tiffany. I thought Mayor Lightfoot was working at Harvard or something as a professor. How'd she get involved? I need y'all help me out with this story. Y'all go ahead and put it in the wait. What, oh damn, this chat don't save. Ah, y'all gotta hit me up in my D on the VIP text community and give me the cliff notes of stuff I should be looking at. Cause this ain't gonna this chat for these vertical lives they don't save. God dog it. Ah. See, this is another thing make me want to go back over the StreamYard version, but we're gonna see. I'm gonna keep testing this out for maybe like 2 weeks, and then I'm gonna see if it does what it's supposed to be doing. If it not, I'm gonna go back over to the regular lives. I still won't be overproducing it though, because like I said, we're trying to keep our time freed up so I can work on stories like this. She covered up a essay claim. I heard about that from, wait, no, maybe I didn't. She covered up an essay claim from a year ago in Vegas. No, I didn't know about that. I just knew that she hired a ex offender, essay offender, and hired him as a home, as a like the what do they call him, the inspector, the building inspector. And I was like, how do you hire an essay offender to be a home the building inspector who has the there's no limit on where a building inspector will have to go in the village, huh? He can't even supposed to be around schools and stuff. Oh, I mean, just no morals, if you ask me. That's what it sound like. uh Alice is saying, I don't know, Vell. All I know is that they have Lightfoot on the case. Interesting. Well, me being, from Chicago, I do know that Mayor Lightfoot was also on the police oversight committee many before she became mayor. Because I used to watch her all the time on our it's a show we got on our PBS station called Public Broadcasting, for those of you who don't know. Broadcasting station. But it was called Chicago. It is called Chicago Tonight. And so they do political commentary and just local stuff happening in Chicago. And she used to be on there all the time as a guest. And she was on the police oversight committee when, what was his name? Laquan McDonald, I think was his name. He was like a teenager, 16 years old or something. Was it that he was 16 or that he got 16 shots? It was one or the other, but I think he was 14 or 16, but the police, pow-powed him 16 times, and it caused them to, try to overhaul the police here in Chicago, and she was on that oversight committee. That's why when I heard that she was running for mayor, and I wasn't a Chicago resident, I was excited. Because I had already known about her for years and thought she was, would be a good fit, but that didn't work out. I also feel like, in some ways, I feel like they just didn't give her enough time, but I don't know, because I wasn't a Chicago resident, so I don't really know the depths of all what was happening or not happening. Mariana saying the village is in the red $7 million because of her. That's just absolutely insane. Yeah, I've heard about all that. It's a mess. A lot to say, a lot to it. That's again, Misty. That's why I'm like, I can't just talk about it like this. Like, I need to really be breaking it down. Mr. Moore is the house inspector. Yep, I heard about her covering up the essay. That's crazy. That's crazy. She's an enabler because she already hired one, and then she covered up something else. Yeah, I got to catch up. Ooh, Jesus. Actually, I had already started because my moderators in our group, Alice is part of that. They gave me some stuff months ago on it. So I'm gonna start. I already have it here that I had started building in my storyboard notes, but I'll continue and tighten up stuff and fill in holes. B Hunt says she has to be D Crook's cousin. Unfortunately, these people don't have to be related. There's a lot of predators out here, scammers and predators. The village of Dalton is in debt for millions because of her. It goes deep. That's so shameful. It's so shameful, and it's a nice little community. I one of my friends used to live there, and when I was doing real estate appraising and another job in sales, I used to spend a lot of time in that suburb. I always liked it. It's a working class suburb, and it was nice. You need a lot of time for this one. B Hunter saying, "Yeah, I know. I'm aware. Like, I'm definitely at least aware that I can't be like, oh, tomorrow we'll talk about it. I'm like, nah. I know. I need like a weekend. Really, I need even longer than that. But I know we could probably do it one day next week, as long as I get into the depths of it this weekend." Marlena B is saying Lightfoot was a former federal prosecutor, and apparently she was great at that. Everyone is saying that this would be a perfect opportunity for her to clean up her image. Interesting. No, he was shot 16 times. Okay, that's what it was. Thank you, Sock Snob. How many? What year was that? Because that was a while ago. Um, they pairing they paying Mary Lori Lightfoot $400 an hour. Must be nice. Covered up for like a year. Yeah, yeah. Now you bringing some of it back to me, Sock Snob, about Laquan McDonald. She wants to get that was one of the things that made Rahm Emanuel's reign start to crumble. She want to give people their business license if they don't. She won't. I think is what you're saying. She won't give people their business license if they won't support her. This woman is definitely sounds psycho. Allegedly, but that's what the citizens want. What's what the citizens want? I don't know. I'm reading too many comments. I don't know what the citizens want. Tiffany is a liar and a thief. Are there people that really support her? Like for real, for real? Like the majority? She's using the police as her henchmen. I wonder how much time does she have left in her term? She's very cocky too. Now I've seen those meetings. I've seen some clips of those meetings. I'm like, what? Like I lived in a small town in a suburb of suburb outside of Chicago, and oh my God, the stuff I was like, this is crazy and they were trying to have me run for mayor, and I was like, yeah, nah, I ain't trying to do all that. Nah, yeah, them people was crazy. It was like grown people acting like high schoolers, and it was a lot. It was a lot. So I've seen some of this behavior firsthand. Going to those village meetings. Ooh, Jesus. When they told Tahoe Tiffany, she said that if anybody found it, it would ruin her. She told that the assistant she would take care of it. I think you may be talking about the essay stuff that happened in Vegas. I think there was a young girl that police took her life for no reason, and she backed the police and would not. Wow. Wow, yeah, we got a lot. We got a lot to dig up on that. So um, I will be definitely digging into that one. Socksnob is saying I no longer live in Illinois, so I'm just hearing about all this as you discuss it. Oh yeah, Mayor Tiffany Henyard has started to go viral. I've actually there are YouTubers who've been doing videos on her. I haven't had time to like get into the videos, but I've definitely been seeing them popping up. Um, so yeah, I'm gonna, and part of me is like, well, I need to go ahead and start covering it now so that when she does get indicted, which is definitely gonna happen, I'm sure it's gonna happen. Cause she ain't got no protection on a like state level, I'm sure. Not from this crazy and federal level. I'm sure this is federal at this point with the sounds of what she's doing. Sound like she's doing some federal, well, she's going across state lines doing craziness. Um, so yeah, I'm like, I need to get on it now so that when that uh, goes to trial, we can be covering it, and I'll be well abreast of what's happening. Tiffany's idea of taking care of the essay situation was to put the assistant on medical leave by force, then firing her while she was on leave. Okay, I'm gonna dig into that because I'm a little lost at even who was involved. And are you saying the assistant was the victim and all of that. But I'll find those things out. Or again, y'all can send me the cliff notes. Says Pink Book Lessons has been covering her. I felt like somebody told me that before. So yeah, with that, y'all, let me get on off of here so that I can work on our content for this evening, and I will definitely prioritize Tiffany. I'm gonna move her up here on my list as soon as we get off. Thank all of you for viewing. Please hit that like. I don't even think I told anybody to hit the like button. See, this stuff throws me off. I'm a creature of habit. Like when I'm in a different environment, it's just hard for me to stay, on track. But anyway, please hit that like button if you haven't already. Please share this video as well. And with that, until next time, we'll do another midday live tomorrow. So in the middle of the day, I can't even tell you what time, but probably between 12 and 2, probably like today, between 12 and 2. But anyway, I will see y'all later this evening. Don't forget, we're going live this evening. If you enjoy the Surviving Darius Crooks series, we'll be back this evening. If you don't, I'll see y'all tomorrow in the daytime live. All right, I will holler at y'all later. Peace.